has to complete and so Shyamananda Prabhu is well known to all of you, most of you, but still, I'll take this opportunity to offer a few words of introduction. Shyamananda Prabhu is a very senior disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, one of the first batches of the brahmacharis in the Radha Gopinath temple. In fact, the year when Radha Gopinath deities were installed, that's the time when he also joined the ashram. So they both joined the ashram together. In fact, even Sanat Kumar Prabhu, it was the same year, 87 or 88. So Shyamananda Prabhu, by his educational qualification, he is a MBA in finance. He was working for some time and then he joined the ashram. He is serving in academic way in being the editor of Back to Godhead magazine for many years, and for BBT India, he along with his friends Rohini Kumar Prabhu, Bhagwan Prabhu, they translated the whole Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita from English to Marathi. So that's a very huge contribution from their side. Shyamananda Prabhu is very much loved in the Radha Gopinath community as well as the Brahmachari ashram for his wonderful discourses on Bhagavad Gita. I joined the ashram in 2006-07. At that time, he had started Bhagavad Gita classes in the Brahmachari class. Started from introduction, and this year, 2023, we are still on chapter 9. So you can imagine such wonderful classes every week with such detailed explanation. Shyamananda Prabhu has also been for so many decades, for the last almost 2.5, 3 decades, been part of the Karthik Yatra organizing team. I remember years when, all of us, just like now, we are sitting here and hearing Katha. All the devotees would be sitting and hearing Katha, and they would be planning where to go next, just like our Premanand Prabhu keeps doing that. So Shyamananda Prabhu, for so many years has been part of this Karthik Yatra management, and what we see now is also so much refinement, and at this stage we have 10,000 devotees, and he is still actively part of the Karthik Yatra management. Shyamananda Prabhu is traveling extensively for the last few years in different parts of the world, and he has special inclination, interest and ability to connect with absolutely newcomers to Krishna consciousness. In fact, he has been very successfully connecting with the Westerners who are completely new to this bhakti philosophy, and with his wonderful explanations, analogies and examples, he connects almost anyone and everyone to the Krishna consciousness philosophy wonderfully. In fact, for the last more than a year or almost a year now, when myself and other devotees are in Rishikesh, he has been a huge support for us for the Western outreach in Rishikesh, and he has been visiting there and also bringing many yoga groups to Rishikesh, and through that to Bhakti. Prabhuji is also doing a very important service to Radha Gopinath community in the form of what is called as conflict resolution. So he has wonderful ability to hear, analyze and even guide devotees in how to mend relationships and move forward happily in Krishna consciousness. I take not much time, and at this time we request Shyamananda to kindly enlighten all of us to the wonderful places that we have already visited here, and by his deep, mature understanding of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So Hindi FM will be 97 and English 92. Hare Krishna.
I heard somebody saying this is the longest introduction in the whole yatra. We almost took half an hour.
I was given only 3 points.
Jai अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So I'd like to welcome all of you to this mutt of a very, very dear, appreciative friend of Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. This is the Samadhi temple of Gaur Kripa Shri Murti's Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj. So, in case you haven't offered your pranams after the class, and offer your obeisances there. Our yatris have such fond memories of this temple here when we had come many years ago, and Puri Maharaj was here and can't hear. Hare Krishna. Okay. Can you hear now? Okay. So as I said, this is the mutt of one of Prabhupada's dear friends, Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj. We had come here many years ago, and like normally when you go to somebody's place for prasad, even if it is a domestic deities, you put the curtain, right? That's the norm. So one fond memory is we were sitting here and the temple doors were open, and Maharaj was saying, honor it, take prasad. And somebody said, Maharaj, the doors are open. Radha Vrindavan Chandra are here. He said, they like their devotees taking prasad. So, I was just thinking that how so many rules, like sometimes the first thing we see, if you ask somebody, you're a Hare Krishna, so what do you do? We follow four regulations. And sometimes people are put off. So are we a society of rules, regulations? What are we then? So one devotee suggested, why not tell the world we are happy people? We have so many festivals, we get tired sometimes. We have said forcefully, hear Nectarian Katha. All right, I'm just tired, couldn't get proper rest last night. Take more prasad. Hey Prabhu, don't stand on the fringe, dance inside, come. Now, hearing wonderful narrations and tasting wonderful food and singing and dancing, how can that be a force? How can that be like a prison sentence? But I see my Kali Yuga body, Kali Yuga mind, and you feel sometimes, I need a break. So, Kalakanta Prabhu talks of one incident when first time Hare Krishna devotees were coming to Mayapur. They had chartered flight, whole flight full of ISKCON devotees. So obviously the stewardess would be asking, would you like to sit in the chanting section or the reading section? They don't ask for a dozing section. That's there sometimes in the temples. But and they came and there was a boisterous kirtan, but people were tired. So one devotee started reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, and there was one pastime where the kirtan was so boisterous and loud and exciting that finally Nityananda Prabhu just took away the kartals and he said, okay, stop. So this devotee was reading that pastime and he said, okay, go on, what happened? So he said, Nityananda Prabhu took away the kartals, stopped the kirtan and took rest. So that's our life. We get tired of partying, as they say in the West. So the places you visited today, in your retinue today, they are some of the most, I would say, rasa-laden places, because everything in Puri is like that. But you began with Narendra Sarovar. So you began with Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur appearance place first. Then Jagannath Vallabh Gardens. Then Narendra Sarovar. Then Narsingh Mandir. What about Indradumna Sarovar?
Not yet.
Didn't go there. Okay. And then Gundicha, and now we are here. So, I'll begin with Narendra Sarovar. We'll talk of Jagannath Vallabh Gardens. We'll talk of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's appearance place. Some pastimes from Indradumna Sarovar. And then round up with Gundicha. According to historical sources, Narendra could be Nara Indra, means a king. So it could be King Indradyumna, or it could be there was one person called Narendra, and that's how that Sarovar got its name. It's a huge place. Locally it is called Chandan Pukur. Pukur means a lake, and the Chandan Yatra for Lord Jagannath takes place there. Now this is those good old times of Mahaprabhu's movement, when Mahaprabhu would just call people and say, come over from Bengal. And people would get a small 4 months leave. No bosses, no WhatsApp, no Slack, nothing to ask you, where are you, what are you doing? If you see nowadays, like in my school days, we had the phone, and if you tell somebody, I called you yesterday, how do I know you called? The landline doesn't have anything. Now you have to explain to the youngsters what a landline is. Anybody remember dialing a phone like this? Yeah, so that's a landline. Then came the mobile phone, and you can't tell that, I didn't get it, because WhatsApp gives you that one tick, it has gone, 2 ticks, it has been received. The blue tick, that means he has seen it. I was traveling from, this is Mumbai, suburban traveling from Mira Road to Grant Road. and there are these various stops. And our train was at Borivali, which is still about a good 1 hour away from Churchgate. And this salesman was telling his boss, I'm just getting down at Dadar, don't worry, I'm 5 minutes I'm reaching. Dadar is still good for 40 minutes away, at least half an hour away. So sometimes we wonder that isn't this modern world supposed to connect us? They only say connect, only connect, only connect. One Harvard study found out that those who use social media 4 hours plus every day are the loneliest people on the planet. So those who read Bhagavatam, you can understand that Prahlad Maharaj says, there is a disease, dis-ease. Our minds are not at ease. And then we take a remedy. And because it is Kali Yuga, the remedy proves to be worse than the disease. In its wake, it brings another set of conditions. But during Mahaprabhu's time, they would just come 4 months. Any mention as to what they were doing, what occupations? Like even if you are farming, there should be somebody to keep an eye on the crops. Honest people, bygone times, anyway. Maybe 500 years down the line, this yatra could be mentioned as that time people used to go like this and there used to be there was some guy with a thing called a microphone and they would say, hey, they don't have chips installed that somebody just speaks and you get a nice, you can adjust your volume yourself. Anyway, that's a joke. So Mahaprabhu's devotees would come from Bengal. It would be such a joyous reunion. And these Bengali Vaishnavas would take a bath first at Narendra Sarovar, wash their hands, wash their feet, and then they would come to the temple. They would also play a lot Jala Krida or Jala Khela. Another important thing is every temple has the main Vigraha, the main installed worshipable deity, and then there is a mobile deity. Anybody knows what it is called? Utsav Vigraha or Vijay Vigraha. And the Vijay Vigraha of Lord Jagannath is called Govinda. So Govinda would be having his pastimes at Narendra Sarovar. So these are some small snippets of details about Narendra Sarovar. We move on to the Jagannath Vallabh garden. This was one of the nicest gardens in this area. Puri town actually exists only for one temple, that's it. And almost every house has someone doing something for Jagannath. It's like everything built around Lord Jagannath. Like Detroit became a motor city, everything around. Now it is something else, right? Yugal Bishop Prabhu was telling a house is available for $1 mortgage. Obviously, it means there is something else. So, nothing wrong about being in Detroit. I love going there. So, in Kali Yuga, we see mechanical arrangements, shops, factories, and offices, and then a township grows around it. Material nature plays its game, something happens, and psh, gone. But Jagannath is here, his Sevites are here, people come. Any of you remember seeing the Corona time Jagannath Rath Yatra on your news? This was the strictest Corona lockdown places in India. They just couldn't afford so many people coming from so many places and either giving their Corona or taking Corona and giving it back. We have one enthusiastic devotee who still came. He got a very cheap flight ticket, obviously. And then the police captured him and put him in a police station and he chanted 64 rounds. For 10 hours he said, I didn't have documents, I couldn't explain anything, but maybe Jagannath was happy, I don't know. I said, well, he gave you facility to chant, that means he's not angry with you. And he's somebody who reserves his ticket way in advance, 8-10 months. He's a real Jagannath enthusiast. So, this year's July-August Puri Yatra was huge. And there are people from nearby villages. Rush, they come here. It's like the way they come, it could easily beat California rush early morning, traffic, wherever. They pull the Rath and they go back. And of late it happens that Jagannath never comes up to Gundicha. 3/4 or 60% somewhere he stops. And they say the next day is ISKCON Rath Yatra. Because we are the only guys staying there. So, I think some of us are praying that Jagannath don't complete the journey in one day. I came here with my mom once and that year it happened and the next day it could easily just pull. Very blissful. So, this garden, Jagannath Vallabh garden, described as one of the nicest in the vicinity, full of bumblebees, shukka, parrots, shari, female parrots, pika, there's a bird called pika. As Mahaprabhu came there, this is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the mild breeze flowing, fragrance of the whole atmosphere. In fact, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, this mild breeze, Sanskrit poetry is very rich with visual imagery and also sensory perception. So, a breeze should be, an ideal breeze should be mild, cooling, and sweetly fragrant. And this breeze flowing in Jagannath Vallabh garden was exactly like that. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, this breeze became a guru, and the trees and creepers became disciples. And the breeze was teaching them how to gently sway and how to gently dance for the pleasure of Mahaprabhu. Then it was night time, the full moon came. The full moon became so illuminating, the trees and creepers were shining in that light. Vrindavan is a place which is called Ritu Mat. Ritu, season. All 6 Ritus at the same time. So I made a small study. Many of you read Bhagavatam more intensely than me. Correct me if I am wrong. Either you become a devotee of Braj and you can experience these 6 seasons at one go, or you become Hiranyakashipu. What are you saying? Yeah. Hiranyakashipu had conquered everybody. In fact, if you look at the sky at a particular direction, that demigod over there, you would immediately call his assistants and said, everything all right? He looked at us and he kind of frowned or he scowled or whatever. So, I heard in a class that if Hiranyakashipu would go for a stroll and if he was bored with the sun, he would say, mild rainfall here. I don't know what kind of mechanism they would use to communicate, but they would put mild rainfall. Too much, little less. Oh, sorry. Just to give an idea as to what control means. So somebody he was drunk on strong liquors. Bhagavatam describes, when he would walk, the earth would kind of tilt. He had power over life and death. He had power over the elements. He could ask for, I want this tree to grow guavas and the next one mangoes. And they can't say, this is not the season, sir. I want it now. And the naming of the trees, he would immediately say that, kuch to do something at least. Right? Getting all of these facilities. And Prabhu Maharaj says, my father was Sada Samudvikna Dhyam. Always angry, always disturbed. So why to us, I talk to myself, why you want your desires to be fulfilled? Here is someone whose desires were fulfilled to the max. Still dissatisfied. We may say, well, I am not Hiranyakashipu. I don't have so many ambitions. I am happy with little bit. You have it now, just now coming. Next year's promotion, and then this qualification, and if I move to this city, and if I get this job, that's it. Settled. Well, Prahlad Maharaj says, good luck. My father tried. He didn't succeed. And if you succeed, do let me know. We'll change some Bhagavatam verses later. That will never happen. Because Prahlad Maharaj again gives the reason why it will never happen. Asad grahat. My father had grasped something which is asat, degraded, temporary and illusory. But in the 10th canto we read that Vrindavan is Ritumat. All the Ritus are there. They are there for serving Radha and Krishna. So you get the same thing if you are a servant for eternity, for eternity. You get that thing for some time if you are a demon. Pick your choice. You do get for some time or for eternity. A Hindi poet said that 10-headed Ravana didn't bow down before Ramchandra even once. All 10 heads were cut off. Vibhishan had only one head like you and me. He bowed down and he got his brother's kingdom. The Ravan mentality is, I won't bow down. There is a story. I'm going to Ramkatha, I'm sorry, can't resist it. Ravan, after fearing the monkeys and humans coming at him, there is a story that he went to Sutala planet and he met Bali Maharaj. And he said, Maharaj, you are my great, so many times great grandfather. I belong to your dynasty and I am the supreme one. I am Trilokeshwar. I rule 3 worlds. He said, oh, you are the supreme? Yeah, and I have a small problem. So now he didn't use logic and say, how come as supreme I have problems? But is there any way? There is Vaman Dev, who is the security guard of Sutal planet. So Ravana went to Vaman Dev. There was some interaction between them. And he challenged Vaman Dev in that same spirit. And Vaman Dev put his small toe on his body and he couldn't lift it. And finally agreed, all right, you are very powerful, but solve my problem. So they describe that because of Vaman Dev's connection with Ravan, he got qualification to be killed by Vishnu. That means even if you want to be killed by Vishnu, you need qualification. Vishnu doesn't come down and kill. In Hindi they say, Aira Gaira Nattu Khaira, or Tom, Dick, Harry. In the West, he will not pick up a fight with anybody and everybody. So that was Ravana's qualification. Coming again to our description of this very, very nice garden. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was just immersed in enjoying the ambience of this garden. He came to a Ashoka tree and there he saw Krishna. And Mahaprabhu was searching Krishna. Hey, here is Krishna. Krishna looked at him, smiled, and Mahaprabhu rushed towards Krishna only to find Krishna disappear. Now this requires a little bit of explanation. Our Sampradaya, Prabhupada glorifying the 6 Goswamis, especially that beautiful verse, Ghosham taviti sarvato vrajapure khedair mahavibhalau. If you know, we'll chant it together. He Radhe Braj Devi ke chalalite, He Nanda Suno Kuta, Shri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Patale, Kalindi Vanye Kuta, Ghoshantaviti Sarvato Vrajapure, Khedair Mahavibhalau, Vande Rupa Sanatanam Raghuyugo, Shri Jiva Gopalakau. The 6 Goswamis are beautifully described. Their mood is described here. In fact, the essence of Gaudiya Vaishnavism is captured here. Hey Radhe, O Radharani, Braja Devi Ke, O the Devi, the goddess of Vrindavan, goddess of Braj. Hey Nanda Sono, O dear son of Nanda Maharaj, where are you? Are you on the banks of Jamuna, Kalindi Vanye, on the forest on the banks of Jamuna? Are you at the foothills of Govardhan, at near some wish-fulfilling desire tree, Kalpa Padapa? A tree is called Padapa. Pada is a foot. Pa means to drink. Their roots drink water, so therefore they are called foot drinkers, so to say. It's a very beautiful poetic way of calling a tree Padapa. And so my question here is, should we leave our jobs, families and give so much of donation just to be, hey Krishna, where are you, where are you, where are you? And there is a whole mass of people who are saying, I found Krishna, I found Krishna. I went to Braj, I saw through this small peeping hole in Seva Kunj and I saw them dancing. Please, someone volunteer, why this separation is emphasized so much? Any ideas? Don't use Sanskrit.
Absence makes the heart go.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Harivansh Prabhu is giving an answer which is a good answer. We'll keep it in our car park. Any other answer? Why separate? Yes, Prabhu.
Chances of less offense.
Chances of less offense. That's a very good answer. Anybody? Yes, Prabhu. It enhances the intensity of union. Very clever and crafty answer. That means you are hoping for union and you are tolerating separation. Like that. But you are right. Any other answer? Loudly. Service in mood of separation is higher. Lovely, very good answers. This is all you're all capturing the essence of what Mahaprabhu came here for. In one lecture, Radhanath Maharaj gave an explanation and it was so stuck in my mind. I just want to share that with you. I want Krishna. Simple. I want Krishna is an ambition, very worthy ambition. Mostly people just in India go to any other temple, Chandri temple, Jo dhyave, phala pave, kashta mite tanka. Hey, this temple you take my rheumatoid arthritis, hey, other temple you take my left side migraine, another demigod you take my right side migraine. We just divide all our problems between these temple deities and we say, I'll give you whatever you want. On Friday I will not eat khatta food, on Monday I will give you a red flower. Tulsidas says, mostly people, they go to these people, Iha Devata. Prabhupada strongly condemns that in the Bhagavad Gita. Kowtowing to these gods. Victorian English. Kowtowing. Those who know Hindi, it is called Talwa Chatu. I can't, those who are talking again, Gaurari Prabhu, there are people who are called, because the English is called lick spittle. That's another Victorian word. Is there a bootlicker? Is there a Russian word where somebody is so humble with so much of envy in his heart? It's not really humility. You can check out and translate to Russian listeners. So actually, sorry to say, but all of us who come from this traditional Hindu background, the Kali Yuga mentality says that India is a, kya hum bhakt nahi hai kya? Are we not devotees? We don't make a show of yourself, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna all the time. We keep it separate, we keep it private. Just like in America when they say, which political party you voted? You asked me about my political opinion? God, I will never say that. The other day I was just having whiskey with my friend and we were discussing some philosophical issues. That you can say publicly, but not your political views. So every culture has something which you make private, something which you don't make private. So Prabhupada, he kind of upset the whole cart. He said, this is the definition of bhakti. Take it or leave it. That's it. Like I remember, 1991, there is one businessman used to come to the temple, Chopadi temple for some Gita program. And he would give an answer which is very common in India. How are you? How's life? कैसे हैं आप? कैसे जी रहे हैं? भगवान का नाम लेके जी रहे हैं. Which in English it means, I am surviving on chanting the Lord's holy names. Is it? And one thing is, this person was very much against this counting of holy names every day. He said, what is this, a bag containing 108 beads, and another beads, set of beads. The clicker culture was introduced in Chopati at that time. I remember the blue boxes which would have from Hong Kong. Click, click, click. And some said Tulsi is purifying. Clicker, metal is not purifying. Somebody cut their bead in half and with Fevicol put it on the clickers. Yes. Very innovative. So he said, look, I am in touch with Tulsi now. I am not touching metal, it is Tulsi. So, then in the flight I saw these stewardesses, one coming in, click. I think they have to keep a tag on, right? So he was given a clicker and said, if you feel that all day long you chant, he said, yeah, I'm in my shop. If a customer comes, I attend to the customer. Otherwise, I am simply chanting. And sure, you guys chant 16 rounds, 16 into 108 is equal to 1728. I should be doing at least 18 or 20 rounds. I feel like that. So that day, he was given the next weekly program. He came, was slightly mild demeanor this time. He gave the clicker back and said, 106. He said, gosh, I don't even chant one round a day. And I was thinking, I am chanting more than the quota. This is Kali Yuga mind in full display of its powers. It gives you that feeling, it gives you that false confidence. I am doing so much, I am doing so much. And an antidote to that is what our Goswamis have given. You do big, massive, humongous, and say, I wish I could have done more. Like a typical exam question that, where in the Gita it says 16 rounds? Huh? Where in the Gita it says 16 rounds? 19th chapter, correct? So, we had this discussion and somebody remembered the Prabhupada class, he said, Satatam Kirtayantu Mam, 24-hour chanting is needed. Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur's place is here. It is remembered his pastime. Anybody knows what was the criteria for chanting in the Gaudiya Math? It has changed a little bit. Yes? 64? I mean, you must have read on the book then. What other choices you have? What are the information you have? Huh?
Householder difference and
Yeah, there was a categorized way of chanting. Householders?
64.
Where do you get the 64 all the time? Because once Prabhupada said, my Guru Maharaj said, if you are not chanting 64, you are fallen. The criteria was 4 rounds. Now don't rush to join some mud. I'm warning you. They are giving something very cheap, but then other hidden costs are very high. So look at the asterisks. 4 rounds if you are desirous of chanting. Then go up to 8, 12, 16, you are qualified for Diksha. 4 rounds you get the first Diksha, 16 you get the qualification to do duty worship at home. Now if somebody like me who is very inquisitive, curious and says, oh I love this library, Maharaj, I will stay here, I will read every day, I promise I will not leave this place. I want prasad delivered in my room. At that time you would have agreed. Okay, hey, give him breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever it is. He will just sit here and chant, but you have to chant 64 rounds. Now, what did Prabhupada do? Here is Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur and he has cultured 1890, 1900, 1910, 1920 kind of Indian society. Some of you, I don't know if you know, there was one Vanaprastha in Chopati Ashram, Abhiram Thakur Prabhu. Such a loving person. He said, in all my childhood I used to chant, Chau dike kartal baje madhe nache gora. He said, I never knew what it meant. All over 4 directions, kartals are playing, and in between, Gora is dancing. And he said, we never knew Krishna Balaram, Kanai Balai. Simple. And he used to say, Prabhupada क्या book लिखा है, पढ़ते पढ़ते दिमाग खराब हो जाता है. He was saying in an appreciative way that, it rattles my brain what Prabhupada has given. So Prabhupada comes to the West and like a very shrewd, just see how he started the whole thing. He encouraged the counterculture people to come and he said, chant. How much? 64? Impossible. It will be 8, 10, 12 hours in a day. We can't do that. 32 then maybe. No. 16. This is exactly how we bargain in Indian bazaars and streets. ए कितने का दिया 60 रुपए डजन है 30 रुपए डजन 30 रुपए 32 नहीं 35 चलो 36 रुपए ले लो. That's how we did. In one sense, Prabhupada is more strict than his Guru Maharaj. He offered 4, a staggered way of developing your bhakti because you had the foundation ready. Now those of us from India don't feel proud. We are here, terra firma, our legs are here. All our aspirations, all our thoughts are all Paschatya Desh. That's why Prabhupada is Paschatya Desha Tarini. So, an Acharya makes adjustments. Shesha Prabhu is here. Do we have some chairs? Acharya Prabhu, thoda chair ka dekho.
We have one chair here.
Did we have one chair here? Prabhu, a chair is coming. Just pass it on. Just carry that chair out there. So coming to our point of 16 rounds, and Prabhupada many times would say 16 rounds on beads, unlimited off the beads. Now you may say, wow, that could be a nice aspiration. Most of the time, the last counting bead comes down and the vertical body becomes horizontal. I think I chanted right from dawn till night. And in meanwhile, sometimes we are talking on a mobile phone and we say, 3 rounds already gone. So, just like our bosses in our companies want us to multitask, our bodies also do multitasking. Chanting also gets done, talk also gets done, planning also gets done. Our question is, I want Krishna. Is that a good ambition? And our Goswamis are teaching us that this is one hint. Mahaprabhu sees Krishna under a Ashoka tree, rushes towards him, Krishna goes away, and Mahaprabhu is feeling separation. So I am talking of one class which Maharaj gave. So I want Krishna gives you enthusiasm, activity, excitement, worthy ambition. Mahaprabhu is giving another paradigm. I had Krishna. Just think about it seriously. It's like somebody saying, I want a diamond ring set in 24 karat gold. It could be costing, say, $10,000 or so. I said, all right, so what are you doing? I am saving every month, and maybe in 26 months or 36 months I'll be able to get that. What if somebody says, I had a ring like that? Now that makes you feel humble. I had Krishna, but I lost him. Why did you lose him, Mahaprabhu? Because of my misfortune. So even during the Shikshashtaka prayers where Mahaprabhu is saying, Durdaivam. Oh Krishna, you have made everything so easy, but I am so unfortunate. His Grace Ravindra Prabhu gave a very wonderful seminar. It is still there on ISKCON Desire Tree. Please make a note if you want to improve your chanting. He says that this particular thing of Durdaivam, Prabhupada once clarified, I have no taste in chanting your name because of my misfortune, which is caused because of my offensive mentality. So Gurudeva, misfortune is not just it falls on from the clouds. Anything which grows needs to have some soil. So the fruit of misfortune grows in the soil of offenses. And the sooner we get rid of the offenses, it's a long haul, agreed. Very humorously, Radhanath Swami Prabhu says that there are 3 stages of chanting. First is the aparad yukta naam, offensive stage. We are committing offenses, but what is the second stage? Clearing stage. It's called namabhas. And the third, Shuddha Naam, Prem Naam. So while committing offenses, nothing looks clear. And he says that the transition from Aparad Yukta Naam to the clearing stage could be like this. Fast, quick, in a zippy. And he said once you're on the clearing stage, he mentions some advantages. Prabhupada's books appear to be, hey, nice, huh? Prabhupada has made some nice points. I just checked out yesterday. After a long time I picked up a book from my library and it was nice actually. We come to be aware of our fallen nature. In our honesty, in front of the bathroom mirror, we say, actually, what I see here is a Kali Yuga product. Actually, fallen person. Hey, you don't deserve anything what you claim in the outside society, okay? You are very fallen. We see some good things in others. He is a lousy person, but chants nicely. He plays Nirtam very nicely. Otherwise, I don't like him. That's in the clearing stage. We feel sometimes, like Prabhupada said, we will have a ISKCON up there. In the clearing stage, you are looking forward for it. Otherwise, sometimes you say, oh no, again the same bunch, because I'm working here. In India, sometimes they say, Prabhu, idhar mile. I have to work with you in this department here, but at least there, please spare me. But no, that's because of aparadnam. Clearing stage. It's like and then he adds that from the clearing stage to Shuddha Naam, Prem Naam, not like this anymore. It could be lifetimes. So that is the time we know that bhakti is bestowed. Bhakti is not, Bhakti Tirtha Swami used to say, there is a rights counter and there is a mercy counter. The rights counter is open. You say, Indian style, whichever is open, you stand in front of that. So in the rights, my right, Krishna, you have to give me pure bhakti. 16 rounds for 45 years, so much of donation, so much of Bhagavad study, so much of helping Vaishnavas. It's like you put all these chiller, loose change in front of the counter and Krishna says, this? You want pure bhakti for this? Check the rates, man. See that? Did you check the table, the updated price range? You say, prices have increased? They have been, what do they say nowadays? Upwardly changed or something like that. There's, next to it is the mercy counter. And the mercy counter is closed. Intelligent people will stand in front of that whenever it will open. But it will accept anybody and everybody. It won't ask you when did you join, what did you do, how many fights you had, or whatever problems you had. Mercy means, okay, next, allow, allow, allow. So we don't go, now this is also has some serious siddhanta behind it. We don't go before Krishna and say, oh Lord, I am your devotee. You know, I never knew that. what's your date of birth and when did you do anything? Krishna said, I don't have any record. Is he there in the list? So we go before Radharani and say, my dear Devi, I am your long lost son. Would you please accept me? And her answer is, I was waiting for this. Waiting when you will come and say that I belong to you. Now I will take you to Krishna, as she does. And then whatever our personal ambition is, if you want to cook for Krishna, she says, he's a better cook than me. This is her language. This is what she normally talks with Krishna. He's a better devotee cook than me. Would you accept whatever he cooks, whatever she cooks? Now Krishna has a big problem. I have to eat what this fellow is making. Better I give him intelligence how to cook properly. So, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. All the expertise which devotees get is only through this formula. There is no other formula. Go before Radharani, say I am yours. She accepts. Tell I want to cook for Krishna, to dance for Krishna, to sing for Krishna. So, I want Krishna and I lost Krishna. This is the major, it's like a shift. It's like a lever which shifts from this to this direction. And that is why all your answers, all you said, separation enhances the mood of union is perfect. How many from South India here? My God, I dare not offend any of you. But general experience, you go to some, I've heard of it, I don't claim to be an expert in this, but normally the deity is like very far away, isn't it, for most temples?
Yeah.
It's all dark.
Yeah.
You give the pujari some donation, then he brings the arti plate, puts some camphor in the lamp, and you start chanting and he just waves the lamp and there suddenly you get a glimpse of the lotus face, some arms, the lotus feet, and that's it. Darshan over. Please tell me why this kind of process, why it is called nourishing. What mood does it nourish? Sorry? Eagerness to see. You don't take the Lord cheaply. So the Aishwarya mode is worship, is nourished in this kind of puja. But in case of Radha Krishna worship, all nights, you get to see each and every, like in 4K ultra resolution. You see the eyelashes, you see everything, and up close and personal, as they say. This is the Madhurya mood. But the Madhurya mood is not cheap. One Indian magistrate had come to Vrindavan and then he was taking a train to Delhi. In the Delhi platform he was saying, hey, where did he go? Where did he go? Somebody said, who? I think I saw a bluish boy, young boy following me from Vrindavan. And Prabhu said, you come in your millions of lifetimes of sojourn, you come here and then you see Krishna and then you see Krishna followed me all the way from Braj to Delhi. That to a railway station. Radhe Radhe Bolo Vrindavan mein Dolo. There was one person who wrote a book about being so apologetic for Ras Leela. Hey, poor Krishna, he's just a boy. He's not hit puberty yet. Even the girls are not like that. And Prabhupada said, look, you don't need to defend Krishna. there are many stalwart authorities who have done everything properly. Please cease and desist. It's like somebody saying, you have some problem, can I do surgery on you? You say, no, please. The best thing you can do is not do anything. Yeah. So there is a big confusion about who Krishna is, what Vasila is. But you have to go to the authorized people to understand. I have some time. I will take Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur's appearance Leela last because that's the most important point here. Next we go to Indradumna Sarovar. Indradumna Sarovar is just ahead of the Narsimha temple which you came and visited last. Okay. There Mahaprabhu would see his Bengali devotees. They would make a circle, sometimes a circle within a circle, and they would be splashing water, they would be playing cymbals, they would imitate the croaking of frogs, and then something wonderful would happen. These Vaishnavas, I'm always surprised when I hear their names. Advait Acharya and Nityanand Prabhu would be sitting on somebody's shoulders or sometimes standing in the Sarovar and splashing each other. Sarup Damodar and Vidyanidhi, Murari Gupta and Vasudev Datta, Srivas Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit, Raghav Pandit and Vakreshwar Pandit. Now this is like the who's who of Gaudiya Vaishnava heritage. But wait, the last two names will really surprise you. As they surprise Mahaprabhu himself, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya is splashing on Ramananda Rai. Who is Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya? He's like one of the prize catches of Mahaprabhu. Raj Pandit. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya went to Mithila to learn Navya Nyaya, the new logic. It's like, somebody making a computer for Android technology. See, now you understand. But that time they didn't make it public. Everything was closely guarded. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya went there, memorized these thousands and thousands and thousands of shlokas, came out and started his own institute. And he became very popular. And then he came to Puri, and he was the Raj Pandit of King Prataprutra Maharaj. Ramananda Rai is like the Pandavas, if you look at it from that angle, is also Vishakha Sakhi. Bhavananda Rai is Pandu, and he had his 5 sons. And Ramananda Rai became the governor of a province. And then he left everything, and his boss said, all right, take retirement, double pension, state mansion, medical facility, everything. Is this the only impetus for doing bhakti? But he is Vishakha Sakhi, so you understand. And the discussion between Ramananda Rai and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where did it occur? Gambhira. Secluded place. And these two stalwart Vaishnavas are splashing and giggling, and Mahaprabhu is saying, please maintain some sobriety. So he told Gopinath Acharya. Gopinath Acharya is Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya's intimate relation, his brother-in-law. He said, why blame then Mahaprabhu? One drop of your mercy can drown big mountains like Sumeru and Mandar Parvat. These two are small hills compared to them. It is all because of they have been drenched by one drop of your mercy. So, sometimes you really wonder whether frivolity or childlike and childish. There's a big difference between them. As Mark Twain once advised, The right word and the almost right word is the difference between lightning and lightning bug. So be careful. Prabhupada in the New York Center was once telling brahmacharis that eat in moderation, eat less. And somebody said a year and a half ago we were told eat as much as you can, eat more, eat more, eat more. Prabhupada answered very simply, that time you obey me now. In fact, this thing of having as much prasad as 5 people cannot eat on your plate, and Haribol, and eating that, Prabhupada said they are so pure, their first thought is, this was tasted by Krishna. Oof. That is enough. The eating is a concomitant part. He said, we can't imitate them. We need to follow them. So therefore we relish these pastimes, but not with the desire to imitate them. Some disciples of Prabhupada at that time in their exuberance went to Radha Kund and they were jumping. The report came to Prabhupada and Prabhupada said, no, don't take Radha Kund so cheaply. If you misbehave, it will be Narak Kund for you. Hell, not Radha Kund. So from that time, suddenly we went to the other extreme of no bath. But then once His Holiness Shyamananda Swami Maharaj kind of persuaded Radhanath Maharaj that no, we will take bath. So almost half an hour of offering prayers of submission, admission of guilt and attrition and humility, not attrition, contrition and humility. He said, now we are prepared. Now go and take a reverential bath. Similarly, we found out there is Mahodadi, the ocean. That's also not a place for just having an hour of just swimming. The reverential 3 drops bath is what fulfills the purpose. Gopinath Acharya then says, you know my brother-in-law, Sauram Bhattacharya, he was a dry logician. And he gives a very succinct analogy. He was eating de-oiled cakes. You can understand that. In India, peanuts or groundnuts, they are crushed. The last drop of oil is squeezed from them and what remains is called a de-oiled cake. And he says, logic means to eat that stuff. And suddenly now you are exposing him to this nectar, he can't control himself. So these are the pastimes of, and he says, it's all your mercy. Our second last point is about Gundicha temple, which is closed. At least you saw where the Gundicha temple is? Okay, it is closed because it is open only when the yatra takes place. For local Puri people, it is called Gundicha Yatra. We call it Rath Yatra, but they call it Gundicha Yatra because the Lord comes from his temple, which is Nilachal, the bluish mountain, to this place, which also has some higher elevation, which is called Sundarachal mountain. So this is from CC Madhya Leela, chapter 2, text 1. Whatever way, 2:12:1, Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you have, you can check out, we'll chant the verse, very sweet verse. Please repeat after me. Shri Gundicha Mandiram Atma Vrindai Sammarjayan Kshalanataha Sa Gaura Swachitta Vachitalam Ujvalam Cha Krishnopavesha Paikam Chakara Shri Gundicha Mandiram Atma Vrindai Sammarjayan Kshalanataha Sagauraha Swachittavat Shitalam Ujvalam Cha Krishnopavesh Aupayikam Chakara. The English translation Prabhupada has given. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed and cleansed the Gundicha temple with his devotees and associates. In this way, he made it as cool and bright as his own heart. And thus he made the temple a befitting place for Lord Krishna to sit. Very sweet. Before Rath Yatra, Mahaprabhu comes here with his associates, and the Gundicha temple being closed has dust, dirt, whatever. Mahaprabhu says we will clean it up. From Indradumna Sarovar, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pots of water are brought. They are splashed on the floor, on the ceiling, over, and Mahaprabhu would see how everybody is cleaning. Some are Bengalis, some are Odiyas, some are from South India. They don't understand the language. But Krishna. So Krishna is the only language. I need a pot, take this pot, take this here, bring a broom. All of this is like a precursor to a modern worldwide Hare Krishna movement where we don't even understand the language. Like Srinathji Prabhu was once in Sweden and he was dying for prasad, and he got one number and he called that number and he said, how do I tell that I need prasad? So he said, Hare Krishna, got it. If somebody answers Hare Krishna, that means it is Govinda's, and he went there and really he got prasad. So this happened at Gundicha. Mahaprabhu would see somebody and say, oh, you are cleaning quite nicely. And then he would understand this is a sarcastic remark. And then he would look at other devotees and their piles, and he would be enthused to do more. Finally, Mahaprabhu revealed his pile, which was bigger than everybody else's. So most of the hard stones, gravel, and thorns, whatever was there, was cleaned up. And then Mahaprabhu began his level of cleaning. And then he took out his Uttariya cloth, and then he cleaned. There's a wonderful purport by Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, and Prabhupada really kind of molded it in his own words so that you and me also can understand. So Gundicha is the name of a queen. That's why we call Gundicha Mandir. And when the Lord comes here, after the Rath Yatra, he stays here and then he goes back. I haven't participated, but I was thinking next year and I might. The Ulta Rath. You know that in India only the Kolkata temple has a Ulta Rath. Normally we take the Rath from one place to another and then we bring it back or whatever. Here the Rath comes here, Gundicha, the Lord comes out, stays in the temple, again he climbs the chariot, then he goes back. Mahaprabhu was just lamenting behind the Rath. When bringing Jagannath here, he would be chanting and dancing in front of it. But when the Ulta Rath takes place, Mahaprabhu is lamenting because Krishna is leaving Vrindavan and going back to Dwarka. That's the mood. But it's still considered very auspicious. So in case you get a chance, less crowd, bigger opportunity for pulling the ropes. That's a added thing for his devotees. Anyway, so as I said, we will spend some more time discussing Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's Leela and his contribution. So Thakur Bhakti Vinod was once the father of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, was once the administrator here, and he writes, sometimes he writes in very terse language that I streamlined some of the management procedures of the temple. And I was thinking, yeah, he could have said the bhoga should be on time or it should be like this. Then I read another line where Thakur talks of Braja, the villages around Vrindavan, and there were dacoits, murderers, they are called thugs in India, thuggi, that's a thuggi cult. And Thakur Bhakti Vinod's language is, I took some appropriate steps to release this region from this menace. Like sometimes the military nowadays say, we neutralized our targets. You know what that means. So the Thakur was a tough administrator. And then one day, he started thinking about What was the name of the society which Thakur Bhaktivinoda started? Anyone knows?
August Assembly. Vishwa Vaishnavas.
Yes, Vishnu Vaishnava something. Or after that what? Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha, the Royal Assembly of Vaishnavas. Don't think of yourself, but treat the guy next to you as royalty. And Prabhupada said that. Don't take devotee cheaply. The guy next to you is more important than kings. So this is the Vishnu Vaishnava Raj Sabha. And then he wanted help. So he prayed to Vishnu, my dear Lord, please send me someone to carry the mission, a ray perhaps. Vishnu is like the sun and is praying for one ray. His divine wife, Bhagavati Devi, she was expecting, so he had kept here. That very place where you went for darshan, there was a home. And then another place is the Bhakti Kuti, where now we have Puri ISKCON temple. So Rath Yatra came and people were very enthusiastically telling his wife that Ma, the Rath has stopped here. Somehow the chariot just stopped. And Jagannath, when he stops, there could be myriad reasons why he stops. Shall I tell you a few of them?
Yes.
One is that a devotee without any legs, handicapped, physically challenged, he is hobbling somehow from some village and is such a pure devotee of Jagannath that Jagannath is saying, I won't budge. Now the king and the main Mahapatra, they have to rattle their brains. What could have happened? What could have happened? And somehow somebody says, maybe there is a pure devotee coming, he is far away, and Jagannath has stopped for him. So in 4 directions the king sends swift horses, and they find him and say, Baba, please come fast. The whole Rath Yatra has been stopped because of you. So Jagannath is like that. At one point of time there was a river going between these 2 temples. So Jagannath would be carried by boat. 2 sets of rathas. Sal Beg, another celebrated poet, he also would be coming and Jagannath waiting for him. So this thing of Jagannath stopped somewhere. But devotee told me that sometimes the Rath goes in the direction of some shops. And they can't tell the Rath is not steering wheel, right? So they tell the shopkeeper, Utao, demolition squad. So this is how so many things have happened here. But Bhagavati Devi immediately brings the newborn infant, and for Jagannath's blessing she places him below, and a garland of Jagannath falls on him. That event, when it was narrated to Thakur Bhaktivinoda, he said, I think my prayers are answered. I got. He was named Bimala Prasad. Bimala is the name of the deity, Devi here. So her Prasad, Bimala Prasad. Thakur Bhaktivinoda's family surname was Datta. Like Prabhupada was Day. So Days and Dattas, Roy, these are all very, very reputed Bengali families. And right from his childhood, he could understand that he's a special child. At age 4, memorized the entire Gita. Then could start giving commentaries. At age 7, told his friends, we should have a lifelong celibates club, Chira Kumar Sabha. The founder president was the only member left after a few years. Now, it is a normal thing to have entered into the Grihastha ashram, but that's what reality is. Mango season, there were mangoes in the home, in the house. And he just picked a mango and ate it. And the Thakur said, did you offer it? He said, oh, I forgot. I know it's an offense. But Thakur didn't say anything. for the rest of life, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur would, whenever he would be offered mangoes, he would say, no, I am an offender. He never accepted that. Then later when he came to Bengal, he took a vow of chanting 1 billion japa. In the rain, he would hold an umbrella and he would chant. Only after he finished that sankalpa, he felt, I am ready for preaching. One day, Thakur Bhaktivinoda said, you should take Vaishnava Diksha. And he said, all right, you give. He said, no. The world would think that this is just a family lineage kind of thing. I don't want any hereditary thing to mar this process. You take from Gaurkishore Babaji. I said, all right. We approached the Babaji and he said, I have no desire of making any disciples. So he kept it like that. Again Thakur reminded him. Again he approached Babaji Maharaj. He said, I told you I have no desire. Plus I don't have permission from Mahaprabhu. He said, then how will you get permission? I have to ask him. He said, please ask. After a few days, Gaurkishore Babaji again was approached. He said, I talked with Mahaprabhu. Could you imagine the kind of lineage we have? It's like you need to get something and say, okay, I have his private number, I'll talk to him. Somebody big shot allotting land or some funds or whatever. Here we have Gaurkishore Babaji saying, I'll ask Mahaprabhu. Say, did you ask him? I forgot. Then when will you ask him? If you don't give me Diksha, I will drown myself. My father says, human life is a waste if it doesn't bestow Vaishnava Diksha. So Gaurkishore Babaji kind of understood the seriousness, initiated him, was given the name Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daita Das. Very sweet name. What is Radharani's father's name? Vrishabhanu. So his daughter would become Varshabhanavi. That's a Sanskrit way of calling somebody's son. Like Dhritarashtra's sons become Dhartarashtrasya. Pandu's sons become Pandava. Kunti's son becomes Kaunteya. Pritha's son becomes Partha. Like that. So Varshabhanavi Devi, Radharani, Daita, very beloved of Radharani, Das. After his Guru Maharaj passes away, he initiates himself into the sannyas order. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was told by Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj, don't go to cities, don't preach, don't be enamored by big buildings and temples, mat, mandir and assets, and don't make any disciples. And he said, I exactly did what my Guru Maharaj told me. He said, my Guru Maharaj could not even write his own name, but entire Vedic knowledge was found in the dust of his holy lotus feet. So we have acharyas who cannot even write their names, and his disciple is one of the foremost astrologers, a commentator on Siddhanta, Surya Siddhanta. Therefore he was given the title Saraswati. So he said, I only preached on the orders of my authorities, my Guru and my father. I never went to Kolkata. Gaurkishore Babaji would that time say Kolkata is the capital of Kali. What would he say today? He would say, Maharaj, I am from California. Oh, really? I am from Mumbai, I am from Kolkata, I am from Delhi. So he said it's a capital of Puri. He said, I never went there to take association. And he said, I never accepted disciples, only spiritual masters. So, the more you feel you have understood what Gaudiya Siddhanta is, what it is, only suddenly it goes yojanas ahead of you. That's how it is. It's very deep. So, one point which comes to my mind right now is about esoteric literature, intimate pastimes of Radha Krishna. So he asked Bhaktivinoda Thakur, can I comment on the Gita Govinda? Is it Gita Govinda? Govinda? Maybe Gita Govinda. Gita Govinda. You heard another book name? But something to deal with intimate pastimes. And the Thakur said no. Again he asked, he said no. Third time he asked, he says, all right, print one copy for yourself. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur came to Radhakund. He came back to his tent, slapped his forehead. His sannyasi said, what happened? All neophytes. I couldn't find anybody of the level of Raghunath Das Goswami here. These are all warnings for us. And then he said, I'm going to speak here for a month on Ishopanishad. So Ishopanishad, what that has to do with Radhakund? But he spoke. In fact, at one point of time, the governor of Bengal had a Dodge car. And there was another car which belonged to Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. So one parikrama which he arranged entered Vrindavan Braja precincts. 2 elephants, royally decorated. One had deities, there was kirtan going on, and another elephant had Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur on it. And somebody asked, why this show, why this pageantry? He said, this is to teach you humility. So obviously, imitation is, they say it is sincerest form of flattery, but in spiritual terms, anukaran is always fraught with danger. Anusaran, the karan is blind imitation, the saran part is where under authority, under guidance, with a lot of prayer, a lot of humility, you seek permission again and again and again. It's like, let's say this is a big courtyard and a big dinner table is laid and some guests come and they see nobody has come yet, so they sit at the front end. And later, when the food is, we start serving the food, and these people who have come for the first, they came earlier, 2 hours earlier, they are told that this is for the guests. You say, what? We came 2 hours earlier. That doesn't matter. This is for the guests. And the guests, even if they come 2 hours late, still the program doesn't begin. So just because, like I went through this phase of being a pure devotee in the first 4 years of my ashram. And why I was thinking? Because I started reading Gopal Champu. And I said, oh, I can understand Sanskrit, little bit, English. So again, one seminar from Rabindra Swarup Prabhu saved me, and hopefully it has saved me. He said, after Ado Shraddha, then what? Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, then what? You get Nishtha, then Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prem. And he says, now it is time to become a civilized human being. That danger is there. Haridas Thakur was given a secret and sacred place to sit and do bhajan. And Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was very heavy on that. He says, never try to do this Nirjan bhajan on your own. Prabhupada writes plainly, if you ever have a desire for secretively doing something superlative, which could enable you to advance more, faster, your restless mind will simply think of women and money. Prabhupada just puts a plain mirror in your face. This is how you look. So, he encouraged this young boy, Abhay Charan Arvinda, and mercifully gave him the commandment. Preach in the English language all over the world. It will be good for you, it will be good for others. The other day somebody was telling me, Gopal Krishna Maharaj was asked by someone, why Prabhupada is Paschata Desh Tarini? Now it is all Vishwa Tarini. He was annoyed. He says, no, don't unnecessarily change. Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra was given by whom? He himself. Normally, a very qualified disciple who understands the mood and the culture, he offers it. And Prabhupada says, hey, the kind of lot I have, I need to teach them, so I have to give it myself. That's what he did. Exactly 12 o'clock. The sun is in behind the clouds, but it is above us. I really would like to express my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of our Yatra committee and all of us here. Please forgive our offenses. 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 is something which is beyond breaking our back numbers. But somehow, most of you, at least in the Gangadevi group, you are coming from various parts of the world. So, how many from USA? Europe? Russia? Any other place besides North America? Yes. Africa? Australia? How many from Australia? Singapore? Oh. Any other places I missed? Middle East? Oh. Mauritius? Very clever. Indians always like to make the world that you should never forget us. So, how many for the first time in Puri? Oh, second time. Okay. I would also like to express our gratitude and offer my humble obeisances to Mother Mandakini. Has she come here? Or Mother Vishwavika? So, Shesha Prabhu, thank you very much for blessing our crowd here with your presence. Shesha Prabhu is a very senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada. We would like to offer our pranam to him. And we will end our katha here. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Jagannath Balde Subhadra Mai ki Jagannath Puri Dham ki Srila Prabhupada ki His Divine Grace Bhakti Radhanath Puri Maharaj ki Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, we would like to express our deepest gratitude to His Grace Shyamananda Prabhu by 3 times loudly chanting. Hare Krishna. You sound. So, now we will leave from here. You remember how we are going to leave? In orderly way. There are shoes which are kept outside. So, while you are taking your shoes, please be mindful that other shoes are also with your shoes, so they don't get scattered, because then they will have to spend so much time to search theirs. And when we leave